we will sit back to make sure they don't write the exam.
Okay, okay.
That the others will not write the exam. So that is just it. And again, like you know, like I said, the final details to the LASU crisis will come out because there's an investigative body going on, you know, investigation going on into all those things.
Is it independent?
To come out with the final details.
Is it independent?
But those are the, you know.
Is there need for it to be independent or anything like that, seeing as you know how it is, very soon some students or whatever might start coming with their own version? I mean, is there confidence in the body?
There should be. The Lagos State House of Assembly has set up a body, and that is enough confidence.
Okay.
It's not known. It has a track record of, you know, doing very well, you know, manner of justice to everybody.
So the governor's position on this is to wait
for the, you know, the findings.
Okay.
We need, you see, let me...
Do you have a time frame in mind as to when we're going to get that university open again?
Well, the governing council, they will be in a better position to advise. They have the first responders.
So right now, it's getting to the bottom of what exactly led to the crisis.
At the appropriate time, the governing council, we address the governor on the issue of when they want to open.
Okay.
That place is being run by a governing council, and we will not go over them to start taking decisions on their behalf. They will have to come up with the primary findings and their desire to want to continue to open the place. So we leave it to that and wait for them to come up with their plans.
Okay, thank you, Lateef. Now, the other thing, trying to, sort of leapfrog around Lagos policy, there's a body, a Lagos body, LASRA, L-A-S-R-A. I believe that's Lagos State Registration Agency, if I'm not mixing up the acronyms. What exactly is the objective of LASRA, going by the name Lagos State Registration Agency? That suggests it's going to start. It's going to try and register. It's going to be registering people, and as you know, there's a national identification registration going on. Are there? First of all, how is LASRA different from that, and will there be any conflict?
Well, LASRA is set up essentially, by the Lagos State government, and its aim is to provide data for what government wants to do. You see,
it is to register citizens.
We register them so that we know actually where everybody is in terms of social amenities. Who needs what? How many people needs what? Where do they need it most? You see, it's a planning tool for the government. A planning tool to decide how many gallons of water do we need in Lagos? How many people live in certain houses, and what form of transportation do they need? How many schools do we actually need in Lagos, and where do we need those schools? How many hospitals, capacity bed do we need in Lagos, so that we know where to build those places? There is a planning tool for Lagos. We are comparing it with the national identification number.
Yes.
Probably it might have similarity in the sense that they are both data collation thing.
Because I was going to ask that all the things that you said are the objectives of LASRA in terms of it being a planning tool are also available in the national identity number thing. You can find out where people live that concern you. That is, if you want to know residents of Lagos State. This parallel, do you think it is sufficiently different to necessitate the expense it is inevitably?
Now let's look at it this way.
Bring with it.
I want to believe it was the presence of LASRA that triggered off the INM, the National Identification exercise.
Yeah, even though we've been trying to get the national identity,
and we never did.
For God knows how long.
We never did.
Okay.
You see.
And so you can't say LASRA therefore triggered the national identity thing.
Because of the the inability to actually give us any data.
Okay.
We are so sure of ours. We have not, we have not told any citizen not to register on NIM. We want to have a data of our own where we're able to see all these things. We know what we want to capture. I have not compared the national ID card, I have not compared it with data to see what they are capturing, if it covers, but like I told you, ours is a planning tool.
Well, it does cover, because it will, you have to tell them when they register you where you live, where you live, the local government.
Are they ready? Are they ready to share?
Okay. That's
So
the point.
we have to run on our own.
Conceivably not have access to that data.
Look at it this way. It's not conflicting. What it means is that they are taking your data twice. That is the only thing. And again, I met with the director in Lagos, who said they will also be very happy to work where LASTRA is working. And in some of the local governments where they have got accommodation, they are side by side with LASTRA, both doing their thing. There has never been no conflict.
No conflict, but an added expense.
No. Yeah. You see, wait, there is no time. How are you sure the government, the federal government, is going to share those data? And if those data will actually capture, I just told you, the national identification exercise is probably to know where you are and what you are doing. But for us, it is a working tool that actually, we have something working, with, that will tell us, trigger how some of these things are, highlighted above. How many children needs to go to school in the next, which school, in which area. The national identification number did not cover that. It's called national identification number.
Yeah.
A national identification number to actually determine the number of people within a particular area. It is, and something you can always refer to as my number. Probably when you are filling out some form. For us, this is data. We are capturing data that will make government more efficient, more functional, more responsive to the people's needs.
Maybe part of the kind of thing you're talking about is one of the things government services being provided is this. I don't know if you have a caption for it. This CCTV deployment, 1,200 have been deployed according to your government, your administration, and there are plans to actually, deploy further. Now, tell me about the dispersal of these CCTV monitors. And there are those who are saying that it's a white elephant, that it could have its uses, but there are more pressing needs.
You see, government's responsibility, primary responsibility, is the protection of life and property.
Forgive me, Latif, I got to interrupt you now. I forgot. I got to go on a commercial break. But don't go anywhere, please. We'll be right back.
The wrong toothbrush can actually irritate your gums. That's why we designed the new Oral-B Pro Expert. Some brushes have sharp, stiff bristles which can scratch and scrape. But the Oral-B Expert's end-rounded crisscross bristles are gentle on gums and sweep away up to 90% of hard-to-reach bacterial deposits for a cleaner, healthier mouth. Oral-B, #1 recommended toothbrush brand by dentists worldwide.
Okay, welcome back. My guest this morning is Mr. Lateef Raji, Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to the Lagos State Governor, Babatunde Raji Fashola. And we've looked at the LASU closure, and for when the time comes for you to, phone in your questions or comments, we've looked at the LASU closure. Now we've looked at LASRA, why Lagos State needs to set up an additional registration agency. Spoken about that. Now we're looking at CCTV deployment, and Lateef was just going to explain the benefit of CCTV to the security of our lives in Lagos.
Yeah, earlier I was saying the primary responsibility of government is to protect life and property. We cannot run away from such facts that we have dotted black spots all over the country. Government needs information, most especially the security agencies, before they can work. It is not enough to say our police are not efficient. We should also ask, what are the tools they are being provided with to work? This is security tool, and it's a tool that allows government to monitor the activities around particular areas. So we also have, what are the spread? 1,200 is definitely a small number in a city like Lagos. We will continue to improve from that 1,200 and continue to deploy more and more. It will help us in monitoring our traffic.
I was going to say that probably the same cameras are doing traffic duty. Yeah,
they will be doing traffic duty.
Okay,
they will be able to, in real time, tell us if there is a breakdown as to impede the free flow of traffic in any area, in where they are mounted. And
you use
the last mile, we're moving on time to, correct whatever that is.
Is there a sort of synergy between these cameras, their sort of a monitor center or headquarters or whatever it is called, and a traffic radio that you have in Lagos State?
You see, it's a combination of so many developments. In fact, those are within its radar. Don't forget, we have our emergency toll number 112767. Within the same command center, we escalate those numbers. They trigger off, once the call comes in, those numbers escalate to first responders on who to take what action. A similar thing would play out with the CCTV monitors that we are speaking about. There are people there who monitors this development and escalates them to the necessary people that should know.
Where is the, just as a matter of curiosity, where is the collation center? Where is the
command center is right there somewhere in Alausa.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a building of its own.
It has a now, who manages it?
It's been supervised by the Ministry of Science and Tech. Supervised.
Okay.
But we have in there individuals who run the place. Okay. And it's not a place where we welcome too much visitors. So it's a restricted area because of the security nature it has.
Okay.
People could go there, but then, and I think going there is subject to what the man there approves.
I asked the question because where these cameras are deployed, oftentimes, when I say deploy, I'm talking about abroad, when I've seen some documentary programs, there usually is, for public cameras like this, police has access. So how does it work here? Does police
say? Yeah.
But you just said it we don't allow, sir.
No. You see, look at it this way.
We don't allow
the premises to turn the place into a comedy center.
No.
But then,
we're talking about your CCTV monitoring center.
No, yeah, the command center. That's the command center.
That's the command center.
The cameras that are deployed.
Yes.
If it affects police here in Isheri,
okay,
they will be aware. Their attention will be called.
The command center will call the attention of the police.
They will, it is linked that way. And don't forget, we have the RRS squad too.
Yes.
They are also linked to it.
Okay.
So it's a multi-layer thing.
Since when was the first set of cameras? Were they installed? The first set of the 1,200.
They were installed over time.
Yes.
Not on the same time. Not on the same day.
When did this begin?
Sometime it started. You see, it started even from information, from some paperwork and everything.
Yeah.
They were installed over time. Maybe probably in 2013, duration of period.
Okay.
Probably in about 3-4 months, they were able to install the 1,200. And it has continued. It is not something that you just definitely put a date on, but it's a long process that has culminated
like a rolling installation kind of a thing.
And that is the way it will continue until we can successfully cover the whole of Lagos. Where
are the key points that have this facility now? Are they where traffic is heavy?
One where traffic are heavy, such as where police have security concern, like we call black spots.
Yes.
Areas like that, they have the camera. Where there are large population of movement, the cameras are there, so as to be able to tell, not only for security reasons, even for emergency issues. They serve a multi-purpose. It's a multi-purpose thing. Firefighters are on it, they rescue people. Let's talk about it. It serves the same function that it serves over there, where you refer to serve the same functions here in Nigeria.
The emergency, it's part of the emergency reaction system. So as you said, in addition to traffic duty, black spots and that kind of a thing, the issue for me now is that police doesn't have it firsthand. You have to get in touch with them when you feel that, this is a police matter. So it's not as if like you have partnered with the police, so you have a special RRS, rapid response squad. You don't have a similar squad where the police is actually hands-on involved in partnership with you.
They are.
Oh, they are.
They are. The commissioner of police here is very much involved. He knows. He will get reports about development, because these are the things that will assist him in fighting the crime. The ambulance services are onto it. The fire services are onto it. You see, without prejudice to your wanting to know these fine details, I can assure you, it is to make sure that Lagosians are served and their property are well protected. Their lives and property are well protected. That is the primary aim of those cameras. To make sure that lives is better for an average Lagosian.
So one doesn't need to worry about
the way it works.
Yeah, I hear you.
To those people that
even if I were to let go of the finer details, as you put it, how about the whole matter about Big Brother? The Big Brother syndrome.
What is the Big Brother syndrome?
Well, if you're watching all of the people going about their business, you know this concept about Big Brother is watching you and could be put to particular kind of unfair, maybe advantage.
Again, let me assure Lagosian that it is not meant. That is why we will not go into their homes. But the moment you step out of your house, the government has a responsibility to you. Even though the government has responsibility to you while you are in your house, it will not invade your privacy. So, but whatever it is that you see, the beauty of issues like this is that when you are on the street, and we have seen quite a number of such, and you are the type of health patient that could just fall, and it captures it, it will be reported, so that health officials quickly come around there to see what help they can afford to give.
And as far as the person is concerned, it's like magic.
It's like magic,
you know.
But not knowing that it was the camera that actually assisted.
Have there been instances where the installation of these cameras have actually yielded beneficial fruit in this kind of circumstance?
And I think it has happened many times over where we took this concept from. It has helped. It has helped greatly.
Where we took the concept from, that is from the West.
Yeah.
It has happened there, but I'm asking if here
we just record here now. It's a new thing. We have just got onto this, and it takes the doggedness and the commitment of this administration to actually get onto this. It's not just a matter. Yeah, it's very easy for people to just see them as camera, but it was a very, very long process before we got to the camera issue. And I assure that the benefits we just unfolded them just about 2 weeks. The benefits will continue to come, and the Goshen's will be the happier for it. Okay. We will continue to evolve, deploy more, do more, so that the real essence for those projects are actually achieved.
Okay, improving the quality of life of people within your domain, that's one of your main concerns. And I'm reminded of a Lagos State scheme, a mortgage scheme. The dream of everybody is to own their own house, and as you know, mortgages just are not as practicable here as, you know, where one reads about it from other climes. So the Lagos State, you have some action in this regard to make home ownership easier?
Yeah, we floated the Lagos Homes Ownership Scheme. Lagos Homes, HOMS. The idea...
How is that different from the usual concept of seeking a mortgage, which is tough? It's like getting water out of a stone.
No.
So how is this?
What we're doing with this is that we want to make sure that everybody can own a house.
Realistically?
Yes.
Not politically, realistically.
Realistically.
Because, you know, we've been on this whole matter of so many million houses per year here.
Look at it this way. We need to find out, we sat back to see, why did the previous attempts fail? For many reasons. One, we looked at it from the concept of what type of houses. Are you providing the same houses for virtually everybody? We resolved that by saying, look, there are some people who just want 1-bedroom apartment. There are some people who want only just 2-bedroom apartments. There are people who want 3-bedroom apartment. We should be able to house and cater for all these categories of people. We will not just build a 3-bedroom apartment and expect everybody to fit into it. There are some, you know, young people who just wants to go, you know, just live in one room.
Yeah.
So the prices now will different. But the approach is that, fine, you want mortgage. It's going to be like a rent. It's like paying in your rent. You are renting to own the places. So you come up with probably about 30% of what it will cost. And the prices now vary. What you get a 3-bedroom for in VI will definitely be different from what you get it in Agege. Will different from what you get it in Ikorodu. Different from what you get it in. So it has also that price fluidity. Now, you deposit in an area of your choice. You go online, you fill in the form, tell them, I want my house in Agege. You click on Agege, it shows you the options, and you fill in the form, it tells you how much it will cost. You start depositing. When you have deposited 30%, the government goes in there, start building, believing that by the time you own the place, you'll be paying it like rent until it finally, you know, becomes yours.
Okay. Well, that sounds easy enough. Well, let me just, I'm looking at realistic prices now. How much might it cost to build up?
And it's always very dangerous to start looking at it from how much it will cost. The reason is that, for me, I can't determine how much it will cost.
Yeah, but the prospective buyer is going to want to know how much
then they will have to
the
visit.
value.
They will have to. They can have a one-on-one with the department responsible for that.
So
because the prices will vary from one area to the
but in a given
other.
area, if any given area, it is 10 million, for example, that is decided was the cost of this particular structure, whether 1, 2, or 3 bedroom. That's, you have to look for 3 million. 30%, and then after you've paid up to 30%, government will then and only then commence building, as you explained it. It is after you have put 30% in there, in this case 3 million, that government will now start building your
and don't forget, the government will continue to build. In fact, one of the concern of His Excellency Mr. Raji in this regard is to be able to give 100 people minimally every month, deliver 100 houses to real people every month. So it's not like the government, for instance, in about 17 sites as we speak now, works are ongoing in different places in Lagos. People who have deposited will start start getting their their stocks. And again, factor in the idea that whatever technology you even choose to build with, delivery will not take less than 4 or 5 months. So we will continue to, we will have some stocks that people who deposit can easily move into. But we are starting from zero, and that's the understanding. We're starting from zero and moving in. We need to sustain a dream like this, and the average Lagosians have shown tremendous support for the project.
All other things being equal, when is it estimated that the first houses?
Hopefully by March, April, from these 17 sites, you start moving in.
Now this is going to be different, is it, from what currently obtains in Lagos State? You have many housing estates all over the place. Now the more modern ones, I thought they were supposed to be low income. Well, we don't use low income in Lagos anymore, but they just have these housing estates now. But they were supposed to be built by the people, for the people, and people could come and avail themselves of these things. But the way Lagos State has managed this is been such that a money bags could come along and look at how many flats are in that block there. They say 6, 3 here, 3 here. Okay, I want the entire 6, and he's able to pay. He or she is able to pay government. They become owners, and then turn back to, well, if not Shiloh, at least landlords.
Let me save you that grief.
Yes, because that's what obtains right now.
You see,
people move in. Never mind that they were built for a certain income category. Money bags move in and clear the whole thing out.
I just said, let me save you the grief. It won't happen under this administration, and it won't happen anywhere. You can only own a house once.
You can only own a house in Lagos State
once.
Under this scheme,
yes,
once.
And if you are a homeowner already, don't venture into this.
Oh, I see. Okay, this is the special nature of this scheme.
Once you are a homeowner, like you now, a landlord, you are not entitled to that, Yori. It's first owner, people that are just going to own their own houses for the first time. Those are the people that scheme is meant for. And don't joke with just that proviso. I can trust you that His Excellency the Governor will go the full length review.
I see.
As a homeowner, you don't just venture into
this.
You can't access this.
Mr. Atiku is calling in. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Thank you very much for calling in, sir. I'm fine.
Yeah, thank you. The special assistant, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Advisor.
Yeah, please, I just want you to confirm for us in the affirmative the reason for the increase in the fees paid in LASU by new students. It may interest you to know that this Adekunle Ajayi University in Ondo State is still paying below 30,000 at their fees. Osun State University is still paying within that range. Why is LASU over 200,000? And you are now saying that this the people that voted for you are going to enjoy the dividend of democracy. People who their father are selling pepper or their mother is selling tomato, how would they gather that money to train their children? And when you are not, when your children are not trained, this economy will not be safe for all of us. That is one. Two, what is Lagos State government doing over this debt portfolio they are having? Because I know Lagos State is going close to about 300 or something billion as at now. What are they doing so that the incoming administration after Fashola will not be hanging on that as an excuse for non-performance? Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Atiku, for calling in. Maybe look at the first question, because the second question he asked was about the debt profile of Lagos. 347, but actually the figure is 435 billion as given by Lagos, and we were going to chat about that. So just concern yourself with his question about the university.
Thank you so much, Mr. Atiku. You see, I was a student, probably I'm still a student. This issue that the child of the pepper seller will not go to school, to me does not hold. And I like telling my own story. My story is that my mom said if she had to sell a wrapper for me to go to school, she will sell it. She does it. She never need to sell a wrapper anyway. But you see, education, we are looking at education from a warped,
as a social benefit. As
if it is not. Education is actually meant going to the university.
Education is an investment.
It is an investment. There is nowhere in only very few people, only very few places. He mentioned Adekunle Ajasin that they are still paying 15. Now, can you compare Adekunle Ajasin with the type of infrastructure we have in Lagos State University? Can you compare the two of them? The answer is no. They were built almost the same time. And I know what obtains. Go to LASU of today. Besides that, it is also, from what I've learned about issues like this, the child of the pepper seller is always the best and the brightest student when he ever gets attention, the opportunity to go to the university. He doesn't go to the university to go and to start putting fire into cars to burn them. He doesn't riot. He minds his business and he faces his studies very hard. Let us look at it this way, that we have provisions to actually cater for indigent students within the community itself. We had scholarship scheme.
Because you can't be surprised that in an APC state, people are thinking that what with the heritage of education for all, that was initiated back in the day by the late Obafemi Awolowo. They expect that the current system will not be too distant a cousin.
Now wait, Yorim,
from that.
Look at it this way. Chief Obafemi, late Obafemi Awolowo, did not provide free education at tertiary level. He provided basic education, which we have been doing in Lagos since 1999. And that is what every child needs. When you take on to become a graduate, which is very, very attractive and commended, I recommend it to every child. But you look at the Obafemi Awolowo's period, that there were emphasis on technical education. How many of our students, and in our technical educations in Lagos, it is still free because we still see them as an extension of the basic education. I was saying, on very, very rare occasions, do we have a non-fee paying university all over the world? You can count where it happens on the tips of your fingers.
Those who are complaining are not saying we won't pay fees, but we want you to tailor the fees to that which we can afford.
Let's look at LASU, in isolation of all these developments. What impression of LASU did you have before now? We had a LASU where it was free for all, where even people that were not students mingled freely with them. when a once bright faculty law that was the envy of virtually all law faculty was decided, there was no accreditation, lost its accreditation.
So things have improved tremendously at a cost that must be recouped.
Look at it this way, that when students could afford to pay their own school fees, these students could afford to pay their school, so they did not make any recourse to parents. It was easy for them to pay their school fees, so there was no recourse to parents or uncles.
It was too easy. Lagos State then decided that it was too easy.
It was so easy that even students paid their own school fees. Let's put it at that.
Okay, and that was not an acceptable situation.
Nobody had control over these children.
Okay, Silva is waiting on the line for me, Paji. I don't want to lose him. Good morning, Silva.
Yeah, hello. Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling from Ikaja.
Okay, you have a question for the special advisor?
Yeah, please, I want to speak to that gentleman talking with you there.
Go ahead.
Okay. He's saying that during his own time, his father sold his, said that he's going to sell his wrapper in order for him to go to school. Okay? Well, I believe that during his period, the cost of school was not as expensive as now. You understand? Because if we should compare the cost of schooling now and the cost of their own time there, it was not even at the same level. You understand me? So for him to say that his mother wanted to sell his own wrapper then, for him to go to school, and for people now even some sellers now, they don't even have wrappers to sell.
Yeah. Silva.
I want to ask if there is a website that I can visit in the issue of the land.
Silva, the context in which he was talking about, what he was saying really was that education, good education will always involve some sacrifice. That's the point he was making.
Yes.
That good education will always involve some sacrifice.
I understand.
Okay, Silva. Thank you very much for calling in. Well, there you go. Many people think of it as a right, but you've explained that, look, to get it to the state where you have it now, where you have LASU now, it took some investment, and government can't go on, as it were, not recovering its investment.
Not only that, we've been having complaints about this hike. The government has not let off. The government has not let off. It's still ensuring that it continues to make sure that it is easier. In some other places, they have what they call student loan.
Yes.
But again, in the Nigerian society of today, if you give them student loan, you expect them to pay it back. If they don't have a job, how would they pay it back?
Okay, on that note, I've got to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because there's still much more to come. We'll be right back.
Embracing life to the full means coming into contact with germs, which could mean facing some unexpected moments. Even family fun time is no sweat at all. That's because I use Dettol Re-Energize. It protects me and my family from everyday germs. With bursts of orange citrus, I end my day the way I started. Re-Energized.
Get Re-Energized now at 100 Naira only. Go get yours now.
Welcome back. Still having this conversation with Lateef Raji, Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to Lagos State Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola. And a question brought us back to LASU. And so you were talking about that. But there's, I think we can't possibly address everything in a program like this. But while the questions are coming in, let me quickly touch on something that the earlier caller, not Silva, the one before Silva, called in. And he was talking about the debt profile. He said he's heard it's in the region of 300 and something. Actually, we were speaking and you were telling me that it's 435 billion actually. Some critics have said it's in the region of 1 trillion naira. The fear that, look, and I think that was echoed by the caller who came in, is that this government, how are we sure it won't be doing things that will be weighing down successive incoming governments? Since the way these debts mature, I was looking at the figures myself and I saw that the latest to mature will be in 2020. There are those that are matured. I think one matured last year, but we are hawked up to 2020. So there are those who are saying that how can you be sure that's going to be in consonance with incoming administrations?
You see, in Lagos, we are...
Oh, I beg your pardon. I should have said that Prince Wires has been holding on all this while, even before we went on the break. Good morning, Prince Wires. I apologize.
I take your apology because more than 7 minutes, but I love your program. That will always stay with you all the time.
Thank you very much. Go ahead and ask Mr. Raji the question.
Yeah, my question is this. As a special advisor to the governor, my advice is to the governor through you. What can't you introduce education tax? From 18 years upward, all those working class ready to pay education tax instead of paying 250,000 naira. Majority of us can't afford it. And if somebody receives 18,000 per month, that is 215 naira 50,000 per year. You can't fund a child because the pocket of the parent with 4 children. So if you can make the governor or the manager of Olasu to introduce education cards, we are ready to pay. This is what Obafemi Awolowo did. We still remember about it this moment. So you believe, the way you put it, the majority of the girls can't fight you. We say no, that school, we pay their money until they get out of the school. But what are the...
Well, we lost Prince Wires, and thank you very much. Once again, Prince Wires, I'm sorry for holding you on that long. I think I held him up for about 2.5 minutes or so. Thank you very much for sticking with us, Prince Wires. Yes, you heard his...
yeah, about his lasso fees.
That he was asking you to deliver to the governor the idea that how about an education tax, for instance? I mean, we have to find a way. Not everybody can afford to have their kids in university nowadays. We
have toyed with that idea, but I can assure him, in a matter of, in the next couple of months, the government will come out with a package that will suit all manners of students and Lagos tertiary institutions. Okay. You should be rest assured about that. That the government never let its eyes off the issue of fee. And the government is ever ready to come up with a sustainable plans that will ensure that no child is left behind.
Exactly, no child is left behind, because
that's our concept. That's what is driving us, ensuring that the child is left behind. Okay, we will. The plan is in the pipeline. We just have to be sure that it is sustainable.
People talk about
I keep telling people the debt profile of the United States today. $3 trillion of that debt profile represents student loan. Can we afford that in Nigeria? We can't. So ours is to look for models that will not burden the child, that will leave him free, let him go to school.
And but again,
we must be able to, we must be able to buy into it that this child actually appreciates why he's in school and give that society the best that is expected of him.
Okay, let's return to you were going to explain the debt profile and how
well, I don't know why they have cause to be concerned, but I want to assure that the debt profile of Lagos is part of its asset. Elementarily, let us look at how all this debt comes about, because we know some of this thinking is that, oh, you make so much money, you collect so much IGR from this and all those things. Why is that one not enough? It's simple. If you sell and you get 20 naira every day, you must go to that point where you get the 20 naira to come in. And your project, you have a project of 2,000 naira. If you keep waiting that until I get the 2,000 naira, that is when I will do things. you will have killed a lot of your citizens and nothing will have happened.
So that's why Lagos has to borrow.
Lagos must borrow because that is the... And before you borrow, they will ask you, there are so many things to look at. Can you pay? This money, the Lagos state government, they call our debt profile 435. We have not, the federal government,
435
billion naira.
Billion
Yes.
naira, not dollars.
Not dollars.
435 billion naira.
Naira. We collected, we got money from the stock exchange market, 275, and we got some other
And so when you aggregate all of this, even aggregating even the maturity date up to 2020,
maturity date for all these loans vary.
they're staggered.
And I think the earliest is 2020. This is a very, very caring government.
Is it the early? No, that's the latest. 2020 is the latest.
That is, we have maturity date for some of our loans that even goes beyond.
Oh, beyond 2020.
2020.
Oh, I thought that there was one source.
Yeah, I think the one we took from the 275 billion from the will mature in 2020.
Okay.
There is no cause for alarm. This is a government. If we have to borrow money,
there's no cause for alarm.
Yes.
First of all, do you want to talk about the limits? There are levels, there are limits, there are percentages.
We can talk about that the federal government set a public debt limit of 40%. When you look at your gross national earnings or whatever, that you can't do more than 40% of what you earn totally.
In the past 3 years or so.
We have done only 13%. We have not even done 25% of the limit the federal government itself set. And don't forget, the federal government guarantees some of these loans for us. If we are not creditworthy, they will not stand guarantee for some of these loans. Now, look at the issue of ratings. Even when you want to go and borrow money, there are investment houses all over the world, and they work in sync. Don't be surprised that whatever it is that happens in Lagos is known, in the business district of London, in Wall Street, in the US, and everywhere. They keep tabs and they know. Fitch is a rating agency that gave Lagos a very, very commendable and high rating, that our finances are good. We published that. Back home, Augusto.
So what you're saying, sir, is that there is no problem. Lagos can pay back.
We can. Let me even tell you one mathematical fact, that we have a sinking fund for some of for the loans. In the sinking fund as of today, we have 96 billion naira.
Okay.
To meet challenges as they come. So when I say there is no cause for alarm,
let me bring Kennedy in. Kennedy, thank you for holding on. Kennedy is calling in from Lagos, actually.
Yeah, I really want to contribute to what that man said. I thank God to get somebody like him to, make certain facts clear. Firstly, I want to say that the school fees regime in last week is not the best. No matter how they paint it, because they are trying to make last week look like a private school. Because nowhere in Nigeria, apart from private schools, any government school pays up to them. It's totally appalling. And this government, when they were coming in, they pushed education for all. Is this the kind of education for all? I want the special advice there to go to the government and find a way where this school fees regime can be given a total reduction. Because as I speak with you, you pay that school fees up to 400 level, not first year, not second year, not third year. Go and check the school fees schedule. You pay up to 400 level before you now start paying little fees. Is that how it's supposed to be done?
Okay, thank you very much, Kennedy. I've got to let go of you now because we're running out of time. Thank you very much for your call. Kennedy's charge that why has LASU been elevated to a match private universities where people have come to accept the exorbitant fees that are asked there?
I don't think LASU has been, in terms of fee, that LASU has matched private university. We need to still look back. We still need to ask ourselves those realities.
People are asked to pay $250,000, you know, in LASU, $250,000. That is possible, no?
Well, I would say probably in our health, for medicine, to read medicine. Now, let's ask ourselves, honestly, in Nigeria,
because
irrespective of where we are, how much does it take to, does it cost to train an undergraduate?
Okay.
We need to look at all those things.
So when you look at these things realistically, you are saying that your sum, the sums that are demanded are reasonable.
Reasonable because we got benefits. But like I also said, we are not unmindful of those developments. We are working very hard to still bring about solutions that will alleviate what they call the high fees to the students.
Okay, Lateef, I'm going to have to leave it here, not because there's not much more to say, but because we've run out of time. But I want to thank you very much for coming along, talking to us about fees too high in LASU, the students' portal allegation, security, the CCTV thing, and indeed the debt profile of Lagos. So we've at least had some sort of a sketch of what's going on. Thank you very much for coming.
A pleasure.
So that's our program today. Join us tomorrow, please, for a fresh edition of the program. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.